Ladies and gentlemen, Super Frankie Lampard needs to be sacked with immediate effect. I'm not even going to talk about this particular match. Just like so many matches we've had this season, we tend to find new levels of worse, new levels. Like we thought it cannot get any worse than the last match. But no, you best believe there is another level beyond it. And tonight, again, we lost against Brentford at home 2-0. I'm not surprised. This is one of the reasons why I didn't want to do a preview because what am I going to do a preview on? What am I what am I actually going to how am I actually going to do a lineup? What am I going to what's there to predict? What's there to think? What's there to look at? Everything that Frank Lampard says is just disgusting and tasteless now. Anyway, he talks about, passion, 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 this, that, the other players need to dig deep. And then he comes post match saying, no, the players really did put their effort today. He's a bag full of mixtures. Like, he don't make sense anymore. He's literally clueless. And I've said it many times that this guy is not a manager. This guy is not a manager. I got so much abuse, so much insult when his announcement happened for his interim management role. So many fans were so excited. Oh, good to get Super Frankie back again. And if you don't want Frank Lampard coming back to the club, then you're not a supporter. You're a mere consumer. Don't be the latter. These are some of the things that I was being told. I was a consumer of this football club. I'm not a supporter. Because I'm a supporter, that's exactly why I was thinking it was not right. Had we had known, had our owners actually given us a blueprint, a direction as to where we were going, I probably would have said, you know what, just keep Potter. If you're gonna bring in Frank Lampard, you might as well just keep Potter, because one's actually a manager and the other one is truly not a manager, and it's quite baffling. When you think about Frank Lampard and what a superstar legend of the game he was, obviously, and what an unbelievable midfielder he was, and the caliber of managers that he's played under, you'd think, he would be somewhat of a very good manager. The people tell me his IQ, he's one of the smartest people going around. But my days, he's clueless as a manager. He's clueless. That lineup again. I mean, as if it wasn't bad against Real Madrid. Again, you want to put this lineup at home against Brentford? Brentford at. I feel sad for the people that go and watch the match. Match going fans, they started to leave after 2-0. Frank Lampard, that lineup, Sterling and Gallagher up front, with Enzo Fernandez, Kovacic, and Kante in midfield. Once again, Kante found himself in wings, this, that, the other. To be honest, I don't want to talk too much about the game because I kept on flicking between that match and the Man City game. And the Man City game was absolutely flying. So good to see Man City play the way they play. Majestic. You have Pep Guardiola, who's, the levels. The levels between the two clubs, man. Wow. You have Man City with genuinely a goat of a manager. Will go down as the greatest of all times. There's no doubts about that. And Man City, hopefully, they win the Premier League from here on in, and potentially could go on to win the Champions League and also the FA Cup treble coming. And then you have Chelsea Football Club, who sacked Tuchel, who then sacked Potter, who then had Bruno Salto, who then had Frank Lampard. We just keep going down and down and down and down and down. After 2-0 against Brentford, I knew as soon as Mbuemo was coming on, I was like, oh my God, this brother's very good, The Mbuemo, I rate him. I really do. For Brentford, of course. But I've seen Mbuemo do damage. And I knew. I was like, counter-attack Mbuemo. And counter-attack did he ever. Counter-attack did he ever. Ripped through the defense, moved into the box, and then the dagger. Frank Lampard right now, ladies and gentlemen, needs to be sacked. I know a lot of you guys be like, oh, the players, this, that, the other. He's selecting all of these players anyway. He's selecting now apparently the players that are most physically equipped and gives the most effort. So what's the excuse now? You're selecting players that you want. What's the problem now? And even then, post-match, he's coming out and saying, oh, the players need to dig deep. How much more deeper can they dig? Like, they're digging a hole so deep, they're going to get buried. How much more deeper can they dig? It's not just about, look, I've always said, the players are culpable as well, but they're destroyed. The players are done. They're absolutely destroyed. Their confidence level is finished. These players, I'm telling you right now, Poch has a massive job, up against him next season. Poch has to sit down with a lot of these players and have to build up their confidence again. Mentally, have to build them up as well, because they're done, they're destroyed. They don't even want to look at themselves as a footballer anymore. They're actually timid at the moment, coward at the moment. I'm pretty certain they don't even want to step on the field anymore. And then you have a clueless manager like Frank Lampard. 5 matches in his interim role so far and 5 losses. Apparently 1 goal scored, that 2 Conor Gallagher deflected goal, and 9 goals conceded. Todd Bowley, for once, do the right thing. Do the right thing. For once, in the managerial situation. Sell. Sorry, not sell, sack. I'm losing it as well. Sack Frank Lampard. If I see Frank Lampard in tomorrow's training session or whenever the next training is, it's actually criminal. It's actually disgusting. I mean, the standards that we are stooping to now. 5 losses in a row. At least with Graham Potter, there were some draws here and there and the odd victory. Now we're on a mad, spiraling downwards, mad losing, streak, losing spree. 5 matches, 5 losses. This guy and his clueless starting lineups, clueless structure. How are you expecting Sterling and Gallagher to score goals for us, man? What support is there going to be? What support? You play Aspilicueta as well. There's no Reece James. Why not just go with a back 3? What was working to a certain degree. Play Ruben Loftus-Cheek as a wing back. Chilwell. Have the double pivot of Enzo Fernandez and Kante if need be, if that's the way you want to go, or have Enzo and Kovacic. At least play with, some attackers. And then when we are losing 2-0, you want to bring in João Felix and you want to bring in all of these attackers. All of these attackers that you apparently have been saying, well, you're not starting them because they don't show enough effort. They're not physically equipped. They're not conditioned. And then when we're losing 2-0, that's when you want to bring in, and that's when you want to rely on them to turn things around for you. You're not here. You're not here. You're simply not here. There are people that are genuinely now starting to dislike Frank Lampard, and I feel sad. He brought it on to himself. Frank should walk. Just walk, brother. How did you even accept this job? You're mad. Frank must not know his credentials as a manager. He must not know. He truly thinks he's actually a manager. It's so crazy. It's like me saying, do you know what? I'm Brad Pitt, I'm Brad Pitt. I know I'm not Brad Pitt. I know I've got a gut. I know who you are. Know who you are. Frank Lampard, man, you're not a manager. It's simple as. To all those people that were jumping up and down when this announcement happened, at least we're going to get some feel-good factor. At least we're going to get some vibes. There's no vibes. There's no feel-good factor. In fact, it's now sabotage. It's now getting damaged. We are losing all respect. Whatever little respect we had this season, it's gone. It's diminished. Thomas Frank, post-match, they asked him about the lineup, Chelsea's lineup, and Thomas Frank said, they showed a lot of respect. I'm actually quite surprised. Even Thomas Frank is taking the mick out of us now. Wolves manager, a couple of weeks ago, saying the match against Brentford, I think they were going to face after us. This is going to be a different game. This is actually going to be a difficult game. Every manager coming out and just taking the mick out of us. And our owners are just sitting there and watching this sad, sad state of this football club. And, now they want to bring in Pochettino. This is why I wanted a winner. I wanted a winner. No problems. I've accepted Pochettino. I don't want to go through that again. I've accepted Pochettino. I wish we'd got a winner, but fine. It is what it is. You got yourself Pochettino. Poch has got a lot of work to do. Poch has got his work cut out. And I'm worried this particular trend that we're going through will continue next season. People are expecting us to finish top 4 next season. You want to finish top 4? How much more money can we spend? We've spent 600 million. I was speaking to Eunice. If you guys have missed the watch along post match, I was speaking to Eunice. You know what? Our owners do have the right intention. They do. They do. They're investing, they're doing. But you know what's worse? When you have owners that don't know what they're doing with their money. That's dangerous. You can have owners that don't spend, they're stingy, and they work with what they have and they live by, right? They couldn't care less. Like Mike Ashley, for example, of Newcastle. Then you have owners like Chelsea, Todd Bowley, who are so clueless in running a football organization. I'm not talking about other businesses. They might be successful in other businesses. Running a football club is totally different. Yeah, they're spending money, but they've got no idea how to spend the money. They've got no idea of how to run the organization. They've got no idea about how to actually bring the winning culture into a football club and, identifying winners. They're just banking a lot of money on youngsters. They really are. And you know what? We're breaking these youngsters. We're actually mentally killing them. And it's going to take a lot of work to build them up. It's going to take a lot of work to build them up. So, look, Frank Lampard for me, it's finished. It's khalas. Finito. Over. Khatam. If Frank is there, apparently next game is Arsenal, we are going to get our backside whooped. Arsenal just got walloped by Man City. What do you think they're going to want to do? They're going to try and rectify that. They've now gone 4 matches, I believe, 3 draws, 1 loss. They're going to try and rectify that with us. We could potentially get hit for 6, 7. Give it to players. Sack Frank Lampard. My personal preference would be bring Poch in. I know a lot of people are, oh, no, Poch don't deserve to see. No, this season's a pass anyway. If anything, Poch comes in, we may get a little bit of structure. We may get a little bit of proper bounce. We may get a bit of, Poch will get the opportunity to assess some of these players, who stays, who doesn't. Players like Mudryk and Madueke are benched. Players like Chukwuemeka don't even find the bench. I thought Mudryk and Madueke, they're the future with Poch coming in. I thought they'd be the ones playing right now. Frank saying pre-match when asked, will Mudryk and Madueke play? Oh, if they deserve it, this guy, he's on a sabotage business at the moment. Bring in Poch. And now, okay, if you don't agree in bringing in Poch, no problems. Give it to the players. Give it to the players. Let Aspie and Thiago Silva be player managers. Let them select the team. Let them organize the structure. Let them organize the team plans. I kid you not, I think we may have some chance of getting a draw against Arsenal if we allow the players, because these players are not bad. These players are not bad. These players are just, they're done. They've just been mentally so screwed over. This is what Thiago Silva said against after Real Madrid. Too much indecisions. Do you know what I mean? Indecisive. The football club. Too many mistakes have been made. Thiago Silva said this. Sad to see Chelsea like this. Sad. Every match day we find a new level of poor. Look, for me, Frank Lampard needs to go. Shouldn't have even be here in the first place. I can't believe how this guy just keeps finding good jobs every time he fails. I'm pretty sure even after this, he'll find the Real Madrid job. It might be Real Madrid manager after this. This guy, I don't know how he does this. Always finds a good job. I hope he doesn't become a manager ever again. I hope every football club out there just realizes this guy's not a manager. Simple as. Never does he talk about tactics or anything like that. Post-match is always about dig deep, give me more. Then he says, no, the players gave enough effort. This guy, bro, he's all scrambled up. Needs to be sacked immediately. Should have been sacked. I don't know. Let's check the news. Is he sacked already? Should be sacked. If he's not sacked by now, I'm lost for words. I am lost for words. Let's see what's the latest. What's the latest? No sacking news. No sacking news at all. Such a shame. Such a shame. Sack Frank Lampard immediately. Immediately. For the greater good of Chelsea Football Club. Please.